Did you know that part of you might actually be afraid to manifest your desire, and that's why you don't have what you want yet? Like you read in the thumbnail, this is not clickbait. I genuinely mean this and believe in what I'm going to teach you today. And once you learn what this fear or this hidden resistance is, we can unblock it so that your manifestation can finally start working. Now, I know that you've been told a lot in the manifestation community that all you need to do is keep repeating your affirmations or your visualizations or your scripting or whatever technique you're using over and over until you get your desire. And oftentimes that is all you have to do in order to get your desire. And if that's working for you, then that's fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing because you don't need this video. But I'm speaking to the people who totally understand, by the way, why you need to keep repeating your technique and have been doing so, but don't have their manifestation yet and want to understand why and how to fix it. Now, I will always teach that you must reprogram your subconscious mind through this repetition if you want to change or manifest anything in your life. And if you want to understand why this works, then I suggest you watch my video titled Pretend Until It's Real. But I'm also obsessed with psychology. And for those of you with resistance and possibly even trauma related to what you want to manifest, I'm not just going to ignore you and tell you to be quiet and keep doing your affirmations. Because in my own manifestation success stories, particularly with my health, weight loss, and money, the thing that finally made these things manifest was realizing that there was part of me that was afraid to manifest these things in the first place, realizing why, and then unblocking that resistance so that my manifestations could finally come through. And for many of you, this may very well be the thing that you've needed to learn so that you can get your manifestation breakthroughs as well. All right. So on that note, popping up on the screen are today's chapters with timestamps, and they are in the description box below and the comment box below as always. Welcome back. If you're new, I'm Jessie Riemann, and I'm going to take you from a life of stress, insecurity, and unhappiness to becoming your highest, most confident self and becoming the kind of person who is so magnetic that you draw everything that you want to you rather than using old school hustle culture, which doesn't work. So if that sounds like you, then don't forget to subscribe and leave this video a thumbs up to let me know that this is resonating with you. If you happen to be watching this at any point between Friday, November 29th and Monday, December 2nd, I am running a Black Friday sale. No discount codes needed. Everything is marked down anywhere from 15 to 20% off all coaching. So if you're the kind of person who is ready to absolutely transform your life and learn the specific way that you are meant to manifest, then you can sign up for one-on-one coaching at this link, which is also in the description box below. Really quickly, I just want to say that I know it doesn't necessarily sound fun to have to deal with your resistance. I know that many of you were hoping that I was just going to say, there is no such thing as resistance. Just keep doing your affirmations and everything will work itself out. And like I mentioned earlier, in many cases, that's very true. However, you're here because you're the kind of person who's ready to change your life and become the kind of person who doesn't have to struggle to get your manifestations, but someone who magnetizes what you want easily all the time. So sometimes that means that if things aren't manifesting, you got to be willing to uncover the resistance that's blocking your manifestation and unblock it. Because instead of continuing to ignore what you can clearly see isn't working for you, wouldn't you rather actually start getting the things that you want? Chapter 1, how to figure out your resistance. I want you to get out a pen or a pencil and paper and write down your answers to the following questions. And as I ask you these questions, you're going to notice that there is part of you that wants to resist me. There is no answer to these questions. I do want my manifestations. I'm not afraid to get my manifestations. Now remember, this is only part of you that is afraid to get your desire. So I want you to, just for now, put the part of you that does want your manifestation and isn't afraid of it on hold. Just put a pin in it. And I want you to only channel the part of you that has an answer to these questions. What are you afraid that you would have to do in order to get your desire? What are you afraid that you would have to give up in order to get your desire? And one more way of asking this question that might help you get your answer is, what bad thing are you afraid would happen once you got your desire? So here are some examples of what some answers to these questions might look like. You are afraid that you would have to work all the time and have no life balance in order to manifest the money that you want. Maybe you're afraid of no longer having permission to rest and of no longer getting the loving attention that you're getting from your family if you were to manifest healing from illness. And by the way, I understand how uncomfortable this one was because that was a big one for me when I realized that this was blocking me from manifesting healing. And this last example is one that I used in my video about what no one is telling you about weight loss. And those of you who asked me to make this video specifically, don't worry, there's going to be a whole separate chapter for you, but maybe you experienced sexual assault in the past and you're afraid of it happening again if you were to manifest losing weight. Now, I just want to make sure that I say none of these things have to be true, but part of you currently believes that those things are. So what this means is that part of you believes that not having your desires is actually serving you. Now, just to reiterate, this is not the end of your story. It does not mean that you can't or won't get your desire. It just means that we had to first realize where this resistance was coming from so that we understand why part of you thought that it was actually serving you for you not to manifest your desires, so that we can ultimately know what to change so that we can then unblock that resistance so that your desire can finally come to you. So in the next chapter, we're going to talk about exactly how to do that if your resistance is not trauma related. And then in chapter 3, we're going to talk about exactly how to do that if your resistance is trauma related, like I was mentioning in that video about what no one is telling you about weight loss. So for those of you who requested this video, thank you so much for your patience. Here is your video and we will address it in chapter 3, but please make sure that you do watch chapter 2 because it still will apply to you. Chapter 2, how to unblock your resistance. Now that you understand the reason that you had resistance all this time to manifesting what you want, the first way that we unblock it is to make sure that the way you are reprogramming your subconscious mind addresses the fear that we uncovered in chapter 1. So I'm going to share a personal example because I know how helpful that is for you guys to see that I too have struggled with some of the same exact things that you guys have been trying to manifest. And now I'm going to show you exactly how I broke through and how you can do the exact same thing too. So since I've already talked about health and weight loss before, I'm going to go ahead and talk about money. So like many of you, I had a lot of limiting beliefs around money. And when I started trying to manifest more money, I had a whole lot of resistance around it. So one of my first desires around money was to be able to make specifically $20,000 a month. And so my affirmations ended up looking like this. I make $20,000 a month. I make $20,000 a month. I make $20,000 a month. But when I did the exact exercise that I just taught you guys in chapter number 1 and asked myself those kind of questions, what I realized is that I actually had a big fear of manifesting $20,000 a month because my belief was, oh my God, I'm going to have to work so hard in order to make that kind of money. My schedule is going to have to be completely packed. I'm going to have to work all the time. Maybe I'm even going to have to get a second job, and I'm going to have zero life balance in order to manifest that kind of money. Now, again, that is not necessarily true. And remember, anyone can manifest anything. So if you're already using affirmations like the one I was using, you're more than welcome to keep doing it, especially if it's working for you or if it's something that really resonates with you because maybe another manifestation coach teaches it that way. That's totally fine. But the advice that I'm about to give you is for those of you who have been struggling to manifest and you want me to make it easier for you, because this is exactly what I did when manifesting used to be a whole lot harder for me. So here's what you would do to remove this resistance. 1, all right, so if you're like me, then your mind currently has a lot of resistance to manifesting that amount of money, in this case, that $20,000 a month. So instead, let's build up your belief in your ability to manifest by initially changing that amount of money to something that, even if it's a little outside your comfort zone, is something that you technically believe is possible for you to manifest. And that is exactly what I did in this case. So in this example, you can either choose an amount of money per month that is a little more than you make now, say an increase of maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and this was exactly what I chose to do. Or you can choose a lump sum of money that you want to manifest that you believe could show up for you. Let's say somewhere between $300 to $1,000. And remember, what we're doing here is helping you manifest something that feels easier so that when you get it, you're going to go, oh my God, if I can manifest that, then I can absolutely manifest more. And that is how you build up your belief in what you think is possible for you to manifest. Yes, I have had some things where I've had these big manifestation goals, at least they seemed big at the time, right? That I started right out the gate and I stayed consistent with my affirmations and my visualization on that and definitely received my desire. But for me, this is again just me teaching from my personal experience, which is what I think that all of us manifestation coaches do. And you're here because the way I teach things clearly resonates with you. And so what I have found is that some things felt a little bit more challenging than others because of a lot of deep subconscious limiting beliefs. So I ended up finding that if I broke that down into smaller manifestation goals that I still wanted, right? It's still moving in the direction of what I want, but it's something that I believed was technically possible, even albeit outside of my comfort zone a little bit. It made it much easier to manifest. And once I saw those things start coming in, I was like, oh my gosh, if I can do that, then we can up the goal next time. And that is when I started seeing that everything after that became easier and easier to manifest. 2, you also want to receive this money in a way that is easy and enjoyable, right? So we're going to incorporate that into your affirmations or whatever technique it is that you're using. And for me, I found that this heavily reduced my resistance. So let's say, for example, that you currently make $4,000 a month and you want to make your manifestation goal making $5,000 a month and you like to use affirmations. So your affirmation would sound something like, I now make $5,000 a month in a way that is easy and enjoyable. And for me, once I started doing my affirmations this way, because one of the techniques that you guys know I love personally is affirmations, I found that because I was saying it that way, I was like, my subconscious mind, the universe, is going to find some way that is easy and enjoyable for me to make this money, for me to receive this money. And that's exactly what happened, by the way. Or let's say you chose a lump sum of money. So your affirmation, if you like affirmations, could be something like, I just received $400 in an exciting way that I wasn't expecting. Or phrase it in a way that sounds natural to the way that you talk. Or if you like to visualize, an example could be that you imagine hearing you telling your friend, your family member, your partner, I can't believe I just received $400 that I wasn't expecting. And then imagine hearing them reply back to you, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm going to say this in every single video that we talk about manifestation. Do your technique of choice every single day for at least 5 minutes every morning when you wake up and at least 5 minutes every night before you go to sleep. And if you are wavering throughout the day, do it more and make sure you keep doing this process every day until you get your desire, because we got to reprogram your subconscious mind. And that takes a little time to undo the old program. So don't give up. Keep living your life however it is that you need to, but in your mind, keep affirming or keep telling yourself essentially that the money in this particular example or whatever you're manifesting is on its way. And if you want to feel reassured while you're manifesting, especially for days that this process feels a little bit difficult, I want you to watch these 2 videos. Again, I already linked this one, but I'm going to do it again. The Pretend Until It's Real video. And then I want you to watch the You Can't Possibly Predict How Your Manifestation is Going to Come to You video. Number 3, look up and watch lots and lots and lots of manifestation success stories in order to open up your mind to what is possible to manifest, and show you that you can do it too. Doing all of these things accomplishes decreasing your resistance to the amount of money that you're manifesting, if we're using the example we use today, or whatever it is that you're manifesting. Meaning it could be decreasing your resistance to the way that you're going to get something, or the ease at which you're going to manifest something. You are now affirming, or whatever technique it is that you're using, that you are receiving your manifestation in a way that is easy and enjoyable, so that you can attract it in a way that is easy and enjoyable for you. And you are programming your subconscious mind to seek out a way to manifest that money or whatever it is that you want to manifest in a way that is easy. Plus, you're programming your mind with lots of examples of what's possible to manifest. Use this process for whatever it is that you want to manifest. Start with something that you currently believe is possible that is moving you in the direction of what you ultimately want. Change your affirmation or whatever technique it is that you're using to imply that you got your desire in an easy and enjoyable way. You don't have to know what that easy or enjoyable way is going to be. Your subconscious mind will seek it out for you as long as you keep programming it in every day using your technique. And once you get your manifestation, it'll be easier and easier to believe that you can manifest more because you will have seen proof that manifestation does in fact work for you. Instead of continuing to beat your head against a wall trying to make the same affirmation work that you don't really believe is possible yet. And lastly, chapter 3, how to unblock your resistance if your resistance is trauma related. Now, if your resistance is trauma related, like the example that I used in that video about what no one is telling you about weight loss, and that example was that if a woman suffered sexual assault in her past, and while she wants to manifest losing weight, she's afraid that if she did manifest it, that the assault could happen again. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you are following all the steps I just gave you in chapter 2, because as you know, I always teach that it is important to program your subconscious mind for whatever it is that you want to manifest. But we're not going to ignore the physical or psychological aspect of your trauma. Because if you've experienced trauma, like I gave you in this example in this chapter, then it's not going to help you to simply affirm, I'm losing weight easily, if you haven't even addressed the part of you that's scared to lose weight in the first place. So we're going to address what this part of you needs by asking yourself this question. And I want you to write your answers down. What would I need in order to no longer be afraid or be less afraid of this trauma repeating? In other words, what changes would need to happen in my life in order to feel safe receiving my manifestation? And then you're going to write down your answers to these questions. What things can I do to help meet this need of mine? What are some actionable steps that I can and will take? Here's an example of how to do this using this example that we're using here of this woman being afraid of losing weight. So she asks herself the question, what would I need in order to feel like it is safe for me to manifest losing weight? So let's say she writes, I would need to feel stronger, safer, and more confident in order to feel safe manifesting losing weight. Next, she asks herself, what things can I do to help make myself feel stronger, safer, and more confident? So in this case, she writes, take a self-defense class so that I feel better able to defend myself. Start trusting my intuition whenever a person or a situation doesn't feel right, and give myself full permission to leave that situation right away. And see a therapist or research on my own how to set healthy boundaries with people and how to overcome my desire to people please. She starts taking these actions and starts using new affirmations that resonate with her. It is safe for me to lose weight. I am safe, I am confident, and I am strong. And now, and I've seen this many times, by the way, in the past working with clients, now the weight is falling off because she met her need to heal and feel safer, and she is programming her subconscious mind to become a strong, confident woman who attracts safety. Because again, whatever you program in here, your subconscious will seek out more of. And that means that you will then attract more of that in your life. And that is how you unblock any resistance you have toward manifesting your desires. Follow these steps, and I promise you, you're going to watch your manifestation finally come through. I sincerely intend that this video helped you. If you need any one-on-one help unblocking your specific resistance to your manifestation, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching. And again, if you're watching this at any point between Friday, November 29th and Monday, December 2nd, I am running my Black Friday special. No coupon codes needed. Everything is marked down. I'm sending you a huge happy Thanksgiving to you and all of your families if you celebrate. And if you enjoyed this video, please do me a quick favor and subscribe and leave this video a thumbs up. It only takes a second, but you make a huge difference in helping me because we let YouTube know to get these videos out to more people so that I can help more people exactly like you. You are worthy. You are remarkable. I love you. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.